Today we're going to talk about FITTVP. It's an acronym taught in all exercise science programs, and it is a list of all of the possible variables that you can change in an exercise program to specially customize it to fit your needs as an athlete, whatever you want to fix or get better at. So I'm going to explain to you how to do it yourself, how to customize your own program, or give you some background behind what I do to specially make a program for each client. And Ken is going to be the bad personal trainer with very little knowledge, and he's going to explain what he can do to keep you from reaching your goal, but keep you coming to him as a trainer, making money off you, etc., etc. He's the bad guy, I'm the good guy. So to start, the first thing is frequency. Frequency is how many days per week are you working out, or if you're an athlete, sometimes it's how many sessions per day, because you can have 2 days, 3 days, you name it. So based on your goal, if it's fat loss, you want to do some sort of exercise every day. If it's strength training, it's a little different. You may want to only come in 3 to 4 times a week. You need more rest to develop strength. If you want to put on muscle, it's anywhere from 5 to 7 days a week. If you're an athlete, you should probably do some form of practice of your skill set every day, just to keep your body used to those movement patterns. But what would a bad personal trainer do for frequency?
So as a bad personal trainer, someone that wants to make the maximum money off of you as a client, I want you coming in as many days as possible. I'm going to tell you that no matter what your goal is, the more times you come in, the better it is going to be for your goal. The more frequently that you are in the gym, the better results that you're going to get.
Mm-hmm. And so for a good trainer on frequency, you'll notice that they'll charge like a monthly plan for unlimited sessions, or they'll try to do like a bundle package because they know that each client's different. Each client comes in a different number of days. Bad trainers like to charge per session because, you know, X sessions times this much per session, they're going to just try to maximize that. So let's move on to intensity. The best way to measure intensity is percent VO2 max, which is your oxygen consumption. But that requires those masks that you see in human performance labs, and they're not easy to come by, and you're not going to get those at a gym. So most trainers will use the percent of heart rate max. They can use target zones, like you hear a fat burning zone is like that 75% range of your heart rate max. Or if you're a bodybuilder or a strength trainer, you know, you have different zones that you want to be in. And RPE is another thing trainers use, which is rating of perceived exertion, and that's a scale of 6 to 20. And basically all that is the trainer can look at your face, see the sweat coming off your forehead, and know how hard you're working. Or they'll ask you, you know, maybe they'll do a scale of 1 to 10, how hard are you working right now, and you tell them how you feel. So how would you manipulate intensity?
So as a bad trainer, I'm not going to pay attention to this because that takes way too much math. And I'm not going to pay attention to that because it takes way too much time. I'm going to use strictly the RPE scale, and I'm going to try and keep you around this range of 18 to 20 because the harder that you feel like you're working, the more times you're going to come back to me because you think, oh my gosh, I'm so tired after that, I'm so sore, he's such a good trainer, I think I'm getting great results from that, I got really tired. I'm going to keep coming back to him for more sessions because he worked me hard.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then time. So how much time are you spending in the gym each time you go work with your trainer? Or you can even have special programming for time and retention, which is how long it takes you to come down on a lift, press back up, special ways to build strength and athleticism like that. And cadence is like how many steps you're taking every time you're running, like steps per minute. Or cadence can be your measurement of time going down and up with your eccentric and concentric contractions. And so for a good trainer, the session is going to last however long it takes me to get you to, you know, like get good form on your lift, or if you're bodybuilding, how long it takes to exhaust the muscle, or if you're an endurance trainer, how long does it take until you kind of cross that threshold into progression, or you're running farther than you did last week. Or for cadence, I'm trying to get you to take faster steps into your running, or things like that. How would you manipulate time?
So for time, again, as a bad trainer, I'm gonna try and minimize the amount of time that I spend with you per session, which means I'm gonna be having you up near that 18 to 20 range on the RPE scale so that you get tired and I can say, oh, you've had enough workout today. Because if I'm charging you $45 per session and that session lasts an hour, I'm only making $45 an hour. But if that session lasts 30 minutes, then I'm making $90 an hour and I can schedule more clients throughout the day. So I'm gonna try and get you good and tired. I'm not gonna ignore time under tension, or I am gonna ignore time under tension. I'm gonna try and just get you through these movements explosively. I'm gonna have you running around the gym. I'm not gonna be coaching form that much.
All right, and then type. So type can be broken down basically between aerobic and anaerobic workouts. So aerobic is anything where you're just trying to consume a lot of oxygen, like endurance sports, biking long distance, running long distance, swimming. And anaerobic involves the burning carbs and lifting weights, moving bands around, resistance training. You can even do bodyweight movements if you're sprinting or doing anything explosive like that. It's all power movement with anaerobic workouts, or anytime you don't have enough oxygen to complete the workout. And so for me as a good trainer, I'm going to do whatever it takes for you to reach your goal. If you are fat burning, it's usually 50-50. You want to use the anaerobic system to break fat out of the fat cell, then you want to do aerobic to actually oxidize the fat and burn it throughout the rest of the day. So I will structure it where I usually start off with anaerobic, and then we'll move on to aerobic towards the end of the workout, or we can split it up. One day you lift weights, one day you're doing aerobic training, which is a cross-training method. So what would you do for time?
So as a bad trainer, again, I'm gonna try and combine these two so I have all this work done. I don't have to do any thinking. I can put all this together into one workout for you to make it easy on me and hard on you. So I'm gonna be doing things where I am putting a power or a strength exercise, and then I'm gonna have you sprint down the road or do jump ropes in between, not paying attention to form, again, just trying to combine everything so that I can get everything done in one session without having to think about it.
All right, and then finally we have volume, which is number of reps you're doing with each set and how many sets you're doing total for the day. If you are a bodybuilder, or you want to label yourself as someone who's trying to get bigger muscles, you usually want to do a lot of volume to the muscle. You want to do high reps, lots of sets. That pumps a lot of blood in the muscle and expands it. This is the exact opposite for strength training though. For strength, you usually want to do lots of weight, which means very low reps, anywhere in that like 3 to 5 rep range, and you don't really need that many sets. And you're probably taking like 5-minute breaks between each set, so it's going to take a long time if you did a lot of sets. So strength training is a minimalist for the volume category. Endurance is, you're going, I guess there is no volume for endurance though.
Over 20, over 25 maybe.
Yeah, endurance is just a lot. Like you're working nonstop, you're not really setting the weight down and resting. You're just going, keeping your heart rate up as much as you can. So what would you do for volume?
So to manipulate volume to benefit me and not benefit you as a client, I'm going to tell you that there's just one specific road to your goal. So if you want to be a bodybuilder, the only way you can be a bodybuilder is if you're doing 4 sets of 10. You can't do 4 sets of 8. So you can't do like 3 sets of 10. You can't do 5 sets of 5, which are all equal volume but different intensities. I'm going to tell you that the only way to get stronger is to do your 3 sets of 3. You can't, or 8 sets of 3, or whatever you want to do on that specific day. You can't break it up into different days. You can't manipulate those 8 sets of 3 into maybe 4 sets of 3 twice throughout the week to get a better recovery. I'm just going to tell you that there's one specific road to get to your goal, and I'm the only person that knows how to get you there.
And lastly is progression, which is not really one of these. What it is it kind of covers the other categories. So a good trainer will include a progression. He or she will consider what your goals are, and they will increase one of these 5. So if you want to be an endurance athlete, I will pick one of these. So maybe you want to run longer with each session. Like you're jogging 20 minutes today, I want you jogging 25 minutes next week. Or maybe you're a strength trainer, so I want to up the intensity. I want you lifting heavier weight. I want you pushing yourself harder this next week, or I want you to back up a little bit to only 70% work effort. And so each category plays its own role based on what you're after. So I will either have you on a linear periodization, which is just constantly getting better and better each week, stair-stepping it up, or I'll have you on a non-linear periodization method, which is the most research-based way to increase gain, and it is basically something that looks like this. So you're working hard this week, next week take it down a little bit, this week work really hard, and then have a deload week where you rest, and then you're just going to kind of complete that cycle over and over, and that shows that it has the most gains. So that's what progression is. What would a bad trainer do?
So bad trainer, like TJ said, non-linearized periodization is the most effective way to progress on any athletes or any client. So first thing I'm going to do is not do that. The second thing I would do would be some type of muscle confusion, where I change up your movements all the time. If I see you're getting really good at a movement, say you're doing bench presses or something, and you're starting to figure out, hey, I could maybe do this on my own, I'm going to change up your workout with some crazy movement, maybe some Bozu ball, clap push-ups or something that feel like a progression. It feels harder, but it's actually not a true progression. And that'll make you keep coming back to me for innovative ideas for exercises that don't actually work.
Mm-hmm. So that covers FITTVP. And so the main thing before you go out and find a personal trainer or write your own program is you really need to know, what is your goal? What are you after? If you just want to go and sweat, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to improve. You might feel good at the end of the day, so if you just want to be in a good mood after a good workout, fine with me. But if you want to improve your athleticism, or you want to get rid of that aching pain, or you want to run faster, or you want to, maybe you've got a little fat that you're trying to burn off, or anything like that, it's really important that you are on a periodized program. So consider the FITTVP and make sure that your trainer knows what he's talking about.